Hello again, everyone. Today we're going to be doing a plastic model build. This is on a International Scout 2. They're showing this in yellow, and I think this has molded in yellow plastic, which probably is still going to need painting. Some of these models they put out in just white plastic. Some of them may try to match the body color that's shown on the box. And that's what they've done here. It says yellow, but it says expanded decal sheet, so these white decals on the side are going to be included. Let's break it open and see what's going on. Oh yeah. I don't know what I'd call that yellow. Maybe orange. It's like every part is in orange/yellow. And chrome wheels. Yeah, they're right there. Instruction sheet. And yes, the white rally stripes are in a decal set. Well, I think we've got a plan on our paint scheme. We'll be painting the body yellow. And then the seats, we're going to paint them a brown along with the dash. The engines on these originally was a red, so we're going to do that. So we can go ahead and paint the black with the brush. The engine, we'll do that with a brush, and the seats. And the differential, here it is right here. That's the rear end. This is the front end. They show on the box what they should look like. You see it's black and red, so probably that looks like gray. Yeah. I'm going to leave the parts on the parts tree to do the painting. Yeah, we're going to have some edges we'll have to touch up, but just makes it easier. You can hold this parts tree and you don't get paint everywhere and you don't get it on you. I will be taking a file, like on this intake manifold. It's got some rough edges, and I'll take a file and dress them down before I paint them. I'm going to be painting the red first, which will be the engine, the intake manifold, a few parts to paint red. And yes, we will have to scrape the paint off when we glue these pieces together. Alright, I think we have all the red pieces painted. Probably do silver next, because that'll be the exhaust manifolds. And we have like a torsion bar right here. This needs to be silver. But I need to let the red paint dry first. The red, the black, the gray, and the silver all painted. I'll do the brown next, which will be this color right here. It'll be the seats, steering wheel, dash panel. I'm going to have to decide on the interior color on this. I'm thinking just spraying it yellow like the body. All the plastic parts painted with the brush. The bottom of the chassis with the floor pan. You can see I painted the pan a gray color, and then the frame itself black. And I just put a light coat of black on these sides. So now we're ready to do some spray painting. And I've been going around the body itself and doing some filing on the wheel well openings and where there was little pieces of plastic still hanging out. Hood's fitting okay. So we'll be painting the body, the hood, and the interior all yellow. But before we do that, I'm going to take some 600 grit sandpaper Just lightly sand, smooth it up a little bit. Don't want to sand too much because this is plastic. Let's start putting the engine together this morning. Waiting for the temperature to warm up so we can do some spray painting on the body, two halves of the engine block. So take the knife and scrape the paint away. We'll get a good glue surface. And this is a four-wheel drive differential. Mounts on the back of the transmission. And the last thing on the engine is the exhaust manifolds. Okay, we have the engine together. So we'll set it aside, let everything dry. And then I will go back and touch up, like with this black is where the parts were attached to the tree. A little bit of red there where the two halves went together. The only other thing that we can do right now, until we get the body painted, I'm going to put these tires and wheels together. I'll paint the back of the wheels black. Probably could have painted them yellow, like their body color, but I chose black. Alright, you can see there's a front side and a back side of the tire. This wheel is a lot larger on the back. So it goes in here like that. And this, I've scraped the back of the chrome wheel and the edge of the black wheel, about the back part, so they'll glue well. Four tires and wheels ready. So we'll set them aside and let them dry. One more thing I can do before I spray paint the body of the Scout. This dash instrument cluster and the radio. There's a decal here that goes over that. So I'm going to put it on. And put the steering wheel on. Because I'm painting the inside of this yellow, I've taped everything up. Hopefully I won't get any yellow underneath it where I've already done the detailing on the bottom. It's supposed to get to around 70 degrees today, so I'll wait until up in the morning before I attempt to do this, because I don't want to be doing any spray painting under about 60 degrees. It doesn't work too well. But that's the next step. We'll get the yellow painted. The interior this is finished. Just letting it dry before I handle it. And we got the underside of the hood painted, and inside the body. Here's the paint I'm using. This is Rust-Oleum 2X warm yellow is the color. And according to our thermometer on the wall, it's 62 degrees here in the garage. By the time this dries enough for me to flip it over and do the top side, will hopefully to be up in the mid-60s, maybe close to 70. That's about right to paint. While we're in the middle of the spray painting, removed all the remaining parts off the parts trees and touched them up where they were attached to the trees. So that's all we have right there. And there's the empty trees. We do have some chrome. Bumper of the grill. I think there's a couple of shifters that go inside, yeah. We got our yellow sprayed on. Put a couple of coats of clear. And brought the body with the hood back into the basement. We'll let it dry a couple of days before we start to put everything together. But we can go ahead and work on the interior and the frame underneath and the motor, get everything ready to put the body on it. We'll work on the bottom first. Let's get our instruction manual out here and see what the steps are on the bottom of the chassis. Looks like the first step is going to be the engine. And it sits on these two cradles right here. And looks like our next step is exhaust system. Two points at the engine, then right back here. And now this cross member. And then we have a tie rod. It fastens in that hole right here. Then when you put the suspension, the front springs in, it will tie in to them. Okay. We need to get the front axle put in, and that end of that tie rod attaches right here. It's a really tight fit. Very busy right around that bottom of that engine. The transfer case, but it all fit. The last two things is the rear differential and the gas tank. The gas tank goes right there. The instructions say the rear axle first, so okay, that's the bottom of the frame and chassis completed. So I'm going to let all of that dry before I flip it over. And got just a few more things to do on the top. That's the seats, the battery, the dash, radiator hose, and the spare tire cover. This is the next day, and all the underneath the chassis is dried. So now we're going to move to the interior. Glue the battery in. Goes right here. Now we'll move to the interior. We got to do a little painting here on the interior before we put the gear shifts in. We got the gas pedal, brake pedal, and the boot around the shifters. We need to get those painted. couple of shifters right here, and the dash. Alright, we got a rolling chassis now. And interior is all completed except for the dash. And I forgot I had to put the CB radio on it, so we got to let it dry. Still letting the body and the hood dry. Probably wait till tomorrow to work on it. Well, I think our paint's dry enough to put the decals on now. That's some warm water. The larger ones I'll do first. This one here that wraps down the side of the scout and up on top of the hood, both sides. And I'm going to leave the hood on to do that. We'll put it all on in one piece, and when the decal dries and sticks good, then I'll trim it where the hood meets the fender. And we want to trim it just as close to the edge as we can. Okay, we can kind of go by the rear wheel well opening where this goes, and it just folds over and wraps down upon the hood. Well, we got those on without too much trouble. They are really delicate. They'll break real easy right here, like over this fender well. Look like they're where they belong. Painting the tail lights, side markers. This is called stoplight red. Now we're going to take some metallic silver and we're going to paint the door handles. This brush I'm using comes to a point at the very end. Makes it nice to doing delicate work. Well, I think we've done enough detailing. We got a chrome grille, we got some mirrors, and a chrome gas cap. Alright, we have all the pieces put on. The bumpers, of course, they'll attach once we get the body put on. Glass is glued in. The only thing left are the two bumpers, but I'm going to let everything dry for a while. Put the CB antenna on top, so we don't need to be handling it any more than we have to. And we'll get them two bumpers put on and wrap this up. And here's the International Scout 2 completed. See you next time. Here's a look at our next build. 66 Mustang Fastback GT. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, how about giving us a like and subscribing to our channel? Thanks.